we have Katherine Schwanitz. Thank you.
It'll be about 14 minutes.
Okay.
Good evening to our board, school board and our community. My name is Katherine Schwanitz of Lillian Township, and I am the director of the Lorain and Erie County Secular Education Association, which was formerly known as Parents Against Lifewise. We have rebranded to become more inclusive and acknowledge that other religious groups are soon to be entering our schools. We are dedicated, as always, to respecting our schools, resisting religious encroachment, and calling out for the burden that this program places on the schools instead of on the parents. We are proud to announce that we will be participating in the National Public Education Conference, where I will be a panelist about release time for religious instruction. We're visiting the area and joining educators and specialists on the panel. I applaud the efforts that this body has taken before and now with the mandated release time policy and the continued efforts to protect students while recognizing the state-mandated choice. However, I do have concerns about the implementation that and I would like to see addressed possibly in the policy. My understanding is that this body is aware of the discrepancy between a BCI FBI background check required for our district staff and volunteers and the lesser standard applied by Lifewise to volunteers and staff at Lifewise, to whom the students will be entrusted. I am deeply concerned that the background checks that Lifewise conducts through a third party will not be sufficient to protect our students. Multiple potentially dangerous mistakes have been discovered related to their background checks in the past, and I'm at a loss on how to protect them when the district is in a position to make that decision based on preventing as well as their legal risk. While I understand the desire to mitigate potential district liability, I believe the language should clearly state BCI, FBI as a standard for rebellion. Also, remember there is some protection in the law in 3313.6022B4 that the sponsoring entity makes provisions for and assumes liability for the student, and that is why Lifewise Academy was not able to continue asking parents to waive liability. The update in HB 8 also gives additional consideration for putting the BCI FBI check into place. I will hope that the bill will consider this before adopting any language, as it is their responsibility to set the standard to protect our students. I understand this may present greater legal risk on the district, but protection of students must be held to utmost strict standards. Vermillion has always been a leader in this, and I hope they continue to stand strong. In regards to solicitation, again, the proposed language is fantastic. How will this be enforced, and who will we turn to when violations occur? What is the course of action of these materials, candies that do come into the school? What of children being told that they can have a pizza party or an ice cream party if they were with their friends? When ostracization and bullying does possibly occur, what is the plan to address these issues? And the policy would be strengthened by including the provisions that you guys have already done, and I love it. But we do need to actually ask what is consequences for non-compliance and just that consideration with that. The last point that I want to make is about IEPs. My daughter has an IEP, and I just went through redoing her whole IEP with the great staff that we have. And one of the biggest things is, the violations that can happen when the kids don't get their mandated hours. So I want you guys to consider the impact that it possibly could have on IEP students if they're cold, and what possibly we could do to mitigate that risk of the violations to you. So I just want to give that for consideration. I do thank you again for all your efforts, your time, and your representation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.